very interested in the whole studio business here, but it's a severe story about what happened to him last October. Traumatic injuries led to a head injury, and he fell from a 20-foot wall.
Yes, and he was put on a life support machine. He spent 4 weeks in a coma, but he did eventually, very slowly, start to make a recovery. And months after the accident, although he may not look like the old Simon, his mum says he just isn't the same, really. He's changed of personality.
Now, you're going to get more about this, because on Channel 4 tonight at 9 o'clock there is a cutting-edge documentary, and it is called My New Brain. Have a look at this.
I've forgotten what we've been looking for. Oh, kids. Are they that way? No. Are they down there? I've forgotten what I'm looking for.
Okay.
I wanted to remind him it was a chicken Kiev he was after, but I was told not to help.
I know it's chickeny, but I've forgotten. I've totally forgotten. It's gone.
I just wondered, Simon, how you thought that went.
It went absolutely fine.
Is there anything that you found difficult about the session we've just had?
Nothing at all.
Nothing at all.
Jane, how long ago was that sequence that we saw there?
That was probably about 3.5, 4 months ago. So Simon's just made huge improvement. Just laughing at that, actually.
Well, indeed, you know, because we're sitting talking away here, and I'm wondering what the problem is particularly. But the program's called My New Brain. Why do they call it My New Brain?
I think that, in essence, because people don't understand that when you have a really severe brain injury, the person that emerges afterwards is never the same as the person that was there before. And Simon, whilst he's woken up and come out of the coma that he was in, he's very different from a character and personality.
Are you aware you're different? I mean, do you remember the old Simon, or is this just the only person that you know? And in what ways do you think you're different?
I've changed quite a lot. Like, my balance has just got really bad, and my memory is horrendous. Like, I still don't really. Well, it's got a bit better now, but from past, it's not really the best of like to try and remember myself and remember what to do as from my new brain.
And what do you remember, Simon, of the actual accident? This was in October last year, wasn't it? Do you know what happened to you?
Well, only what I've been told, but I can't really remember what I got told.
Well, I'll tell you, do you know something? Did he have a sense of humour before? Because he's very witty.
That's one thing that hasn't changed.
That hasn't changed.
Yeah, that's very much
You tell us what happened, because he doesn't remember any of it, does he? So.
Well, Simon was asked to leave a nightclub. He had a little bit too much to drink, and himself and a friend cooked up a plan to try and sneak back in. Unfortunately, the sneaking back in involved a 20-foot wall, which Simon managed to plunge head first from the top of.
And head first. So what was the first you heard of this? Because he was up in Newcastle at University.
He was in Newcastle, yes. The accident happened at about 2 a.m. and I had the police on my doorstep at 2:30 waking me up to tell me I had to get to Newcastle as quickly as possible, because...
That must have been a journey of...
Oh,
because what? Because how bad was it?
Because he was critically injured, and they didn't know whether he would survive at that stage. So, amazingly, the trauma team at Newcastle General kept ringing me to give me updates as to how Simon was, because obviously, you can imagine 3.5 hours from home to get up to Newcastle was the most horrific.
So was it 4 weeks in a coma?
Just over 4 weeks, yeah.
And do you remember, Simon, the moment you woke up? Was Mum there? Do you remember anything about that
I don't
day?
remember anything of what happened at all, and it just makes me angry. Like, I really don't have a clue what on earth happened. I was totally lost. Like, when I first went to rehab, I had to be orientated to where I was and what I was doing there, and I just didn't have a clue.
Do you know what day it is now?
What day it is? It is Tuesday, is it?
No.
I wouldn't worry about that, mate. I never know what day it is either. It's Wednesday, as it turns out. But does the incident itself, now that it's related and told to you what you did, does that sound like a Simon thing, that he would be thrown out of a nightclub and climb a wall to try and get back in again? Does that sound what Simon would do?
Well, it's stupid, wasn't it? It was just me and one of our friends.
Yeah.
And we just made a bit of a rookie error, didn't we?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and it just shows how fragile life is, doesn't it, or something like that?
Well, this is the great thing. No matter what's wrong with him now, you've got him. He's there. He's
absolutely,
alive. He's well.
absolutely,
He's
absolutely.
physically fine. So what is the road ahead?
It's unknown, and that's the really scary